What it do, YouTube family? It's your boy Rob, and today I'm here to bring you guys something new to the channel. Something I've been working on for quite a while, something I'm hoping that will help grow the channel, of course, but as well help me accomplish the goals I want to accomplish in life. And it's something I like to call Talk Your Shit. Talk Your Shit is a video content I created for the channel where I sit down one-on-one with somebody, a guest, and we just talk hoops. I mean, it's that simple. I ask them a couple questions and they give me their answers. We just sit there and discuss it for about 10-15 minutes depending on what they got to say. Give them a chance to talk their shit. And at the end, to make the video a little bit more entertaining for the viewers and fun for my guests, I plan on doing a little trivia session where I ask them a couple questions, 5 questions specifically, and give them a chance to win their prize. If they answer all 5 questions right, they get the highest prize I got. And if they answer 3, they get the lowest I got. If they answer less than 3, well, unfortunately, they get none. I hope this is an entertaining and fun experience for both the viewers and the guests. And of course, I'm hoping that this helps grow the channel to what we want to accomplish. But the main goal for this content is just to give NBA fans a voice to be seen on camera and talk their shit. You feel me? It's that simple. Giving them a chance to say what they have to say and back up what they have to say, whether it's facts, what their opinions, or anything. It's just what they have to say. I wanted to bring something new to the channel. I wanted to bring something that will help the channel grow, and that's where I got this idea from. I talked through it with my brother, and he said it was a good idea, and we talked about it, how to make it better. And I hope we do that. I hope this is a long-term project that we have on the channel, and I hope that we get the support to help grow the channel. Because at the end of the day, that's the main goal, but also to just provide entertainment for the viewers. But without further ado, I welcome you to the first episode of Talk Your Shit. I hope you enjoy. I'm out. Peace. What it do, YouTube family? It's your boy Rob, and today I'm here to bring you guys the very first episode of Talk Your Shit. Talk Your Shit is where I bring somebody onto the channel and we just talk hoops. It's that simple. I ask them a couple questions and I give them a chance to talk their shit. And thankfully today I got the chance to bring my guy, the one and only Romello Cook. How you been, man?
I've been good. How you been?
You know, living my best life, trying to be great.
Sounds like the motto.
Yes, sir. Now let's get into it. You know, that's what I'm here for. Talk some hoops. And I have your top 10 here. This is what you tweeted a while back. I disagreed with it, but now I'm looking at it, wasn't that bad. You feel me? But it's still bad. It is. It is. Where is it? KD as your number 1. Anthony Davis, James Harden, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, Kyrie, Dame Leonard, Steph, Kawhi, Luka, and Jimmy Buckets. So my question is that the same? Has it changed as the season ended, or what's up?
Well, as the season progressed, I'm gonna say it has changed, but I haven't thought of a top 10 to replace what I had before. But that was my top 10 based off of what I've seen last year and my expectations that were coming into this year. So I think it's changed a little bit because, you know, KD was injured, Jimmy was injured, LeBron's been injured. Pretty much half of guys been injured.
Everybody been injured.
They're pretty sucky.
Do you still have Jokic above Joel Embiid?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Jokic brings more to the table than Joel. I think Joel has the chance to have a bigger upside than Jokic, but I think Jokic is consistent in what he brings. I feel like Joel can have a good game and then he can kind of dip. And I think this year has been his first year, like really
his first
consistent.
dominant year.
Yeah, really consistent. I think Jokic just consistently gets better each game, and his IQ grows each game, and I just like his IQ over all of Joel's like athleticism and just raw talent abilities.
I get you. I might disagree with you on this one because the reason they're 1 and 2 for me. Both close. It's hard to say which one is better. But for me, it comes down to defense. And Joel Embiid has that above Jokic at an all-time high. Joel's ability to have both energy on both sides of the ball is what makes him to be the best center in the game, because he can still dominate on the offensive side. Then he could come down on defense and get you a block, rebound it, drive down, post up, do the same thing. Like, that duality makes you so much important to the team. And then when he's out, you can see how they need that presence. Ben Simmons needs that presence. Well, Ben Simmons probably not, but the team needs that presence. And that's it.
Right. Ben need that.
And like Jokic, it's like Jokic's offensive game, I want to say is better because it's a little better than Joel's, just because his ability to shoot the ball a little bit more efficiently, and his playmaking is clearly better than Joel's. But it's like his is more guardable when you put a good big on him, right? Like if you put Anthony Davis on Jokic, you can kind of slow Jokic down because Anthony Davis size. With on Joel Embiid, you gotta send two, you gotta send double the help, and you gotta put a body in front of him, behind him. You gotta send two at him. You don't gotta always send two at Jokic, depending on the team.
But if you really think about it, you send two at Joel, he making the simple pass. He gonna pass it to the man that's right next to him. Jokic, on the other hand, to me, is the offense. The offense runs through him. You send him a double, he's gonna throw the ball cross court. You're gonna chase, and it's a easy layup. Someone cuts, or it's an easy three. Jokic to me makes the game easier.
And now, okay, and the other one I have is your point guard situation right here. Is it still Kyrie, Dame, Steph? Or is it like Steph move up? Like, what's up? Is that the same?
I honestly had Steph. I had Steph lower than Dame and Kyrie because of the predicament he was in. No Clay. You got to stick with A. Wiggins for a year. And you have Draymond as a shooting liability. And then you have Kelly Oubre, who's been inconsistent pretty much his whole career, but has flashes. And then you have a rookie. So I looked at it like Steph is going to have to mega will his team, which I thought would take a strain on him, and it would either cause him to dip. Now, as of right now, I think Steph is the best point guard in the league. I think Steph has proved himself to be the best in the league at that position.
Yeah.
I still do have Kyrie, though.
You say Kyrie?
Dame will ever. Yeah, I don't think Dame will ever
be better than Kai?
Kyrie, huh? Yeah, Dame will never be better than Kai to me.
It's very close. Kyrie, it's close. I put him third, but Kyrie's my favorite player, so it was weird that I put him third in that category. But okay, yeah. After this year, Steph had an MVP performance. It surprised me. I thought he would have slacked off, like you said. You feel me? Double the pressure on him, like what he playing with. I'm like, it's gonna be hard for him to even make the playoffs, especially after the first game of the season. But now I'm like, okay, they did their thing and they in the play-in now. They beat everybody's expectations basically.
They did.
All right, so another question I have is, so the season is coming to an end. I think tomorrow's the last games until the play-in. Yeah. What was your thoughts on the overall season? Like, how did you feel about the season?
I think this season wasn't managed properly.
You can be honest, bro.
I think this season was pretty rushed. I think this season was pretty trash in comparison to other NBA seasons.
100% agree.
I think after the way they figured out how to make a bubble work last year, and we still got really good games in that bubble, I had really high expectations despite COVID, you know. I thought, like, you know, each team is back in their respective arena. I thought it would be a little more competitive in the games. Like, it seems like all these games are 143 to 132 and 150, and it's like, when I was growing up, if you got to 120, it was special. Now you seeing teams combining for 300 points every Tuesday, and then like even the teams that are like below 500 are scoring 140 on given nights, and it's like.
And not to mention the defense you brought up, like teams don't be playing defense, players don't be playing defense like that. But I think it's just the offense. The offense has been so good. Like the players have really transcended their games from past years, and so it's like more players can score the ball on their own than it used to be, instead of always a star player.
I think it's just more ways to score in the NBA, and I think in today's game it's easier to get calls, and it's easier for a guy who's a role player, like maybe such a Tim Hardaway. Tim is he's a skilled player, but he's not a star. We all know this, but he can have 30 on any given night by shooting 10 free throws and having a bunch of easy layups because no one's running back on fast breaks and no one's.
All right, another question I have for me is, what team surprised you the most this season? It could be West or East. What team surprised you?
What team surprised me? I'm gonna say I have two teams. I'm gonna say the Knicks and the Hawks.
Okay.
I expected the Knicks to be better than what they have shown in the past few years, but I didn't expect this good of a season from them because they just put all the pieces together, this year. And I didn't see the Hawks with such a young core being this high up. I expected the Hawks to be like one of the teams in the play-in because like Trey was just being amazing, keeping them in games. But they've played really good this season.
Yeah, I agree with you on those two. With the Knicks, Julius Randle surprised me. I think he's league candidate for most improved, but it's not even close. His ability just to have an all-around game in a game now has been the most impressive. Like he just dropped 30, 10, and 15 yesterday.
30, 12, and 10, something like that. And
won the game.
He's averaging 26, 10, and 6.
Yeah, so like I knew Julius Randle was good because we used to watch him with the Lakers and stuff. Yeah. But to see his game go from that to where it's at now, it's been just like a blessing to see as a Laker fan, or like somebody just watched him grow in the league, and to see him come like an all-star is pretty cool. And with the Hawks, I'm not gonna lie, with the Hawks, I kind of was like, the pieces they got, like they're definitely a playoff team. Trae Young is on year 3. He gonna get better, and then they surrounded him with nothing but shooters. Cam and DeAndre are on year 2. John Collins is still growing. I was like, they can be a good team.
They got Bog.
At the start, they were struggling.
I can't say his name.
Bogdanovich.
Yeah, they got him right.
Yeah.
He nice. I like him.
Yeah. He used to bother me when he went against the Lakers. He game winners off every game. Every time they play, he had game winners.
It was annoying.
But I think for me, the team that surprised me, I would say the Wizards. I knew they were going to make the playoffs, but at the start of the season, they were struggling. I'm like, free Bradley Beal, like the rest of us. But I did not expect Russell Westbrook to take off in the second half of the season like he did. His ability just to take over games and like do what he did and average a triple-double again for the 4th time in his career was just crazy. I would watch their games and I'm like, how did, like, when he gave his teammates the ball, they made their shots. And it was like when they touched the ball, they knew they have to make that shot or he gonna give them a look. And that's what they did to get them where they are. I mean, they had second half of the season, they basically have mostly all close games. If it wasn't a close game, they won it. But they were in every game. I think that was pretty much the best part, the most surprising team for me.
I think that the Wizards' problem to me is just coaching.
Yes,
It's not the players. Like, yeah, they do have some questionable role players, but they have veterans that, you know, are all knowledgeable of the game, despite skill. And I just think Scott Brooks didn't really put them in positions to succeed. And I think early on in the year, I think he already has his familiarities with Russell, but I don't think he knew how to coach Russell and Bradley. And I think he struggled with that early on. I think he's gradually finding his way, but I think they need a new coach if they're gonna keep that duo together.
Dude, I don't know any coaches on a hot seat. Well, no, there's a couple coaches on a hot seat. They probably go after a college. No, I don't know who they go after, honestly.
If the Bucks don't win, snag their coach.
Do you think so?
He going.
Yeah. That's actually another question.
The whole team gotta go.
What's your finals prediction for this year? Who you got in the finals?
What's my all right, I'm gonna give you my biased finals prediction, and then I'm gonna give you my unbiased. All right. My biased is Nets and Lakers.
Okay. Wow.
My unbiased, I still have the Nets coming out the East, but in the West, I'm gonna either say the Clippers or the Suns will come out.
The Suns, interesting. Because the Suns are, I believe, the second seed right now. So they would play the Lakers right now.
Lakers not going to the play-in.
You don't think so?
I'm staying with that prediction.
I agree with you on both of those. Not both of them, only one of them. The biased one, yeah, I'm biased too on that. I also think the Lakers can still get there. After the game I saw today, I was like, yeah, that's the team. That's the defending champs right there.
The Lakers' problem is just health.
Yeah, healthy chemistry for them. Just working, knowing when to get the ball.
I wouldn't even say chemistry is a problem. They got the Lakers are. I feel good about the Lakers because they just had natural chemistry. They all look like guys that are all cool with each other. It seems like they all hang out to the 15th man. Seems like they hang out, you know. It seems maybe a little different because you added two guys and Schroeder and you added Harrell, but you know, it seems like they blended in. I think the Lakers' biggest problem would be rotation and health. As far as the East, I just don't see a team beating the Nets in a 7-game series.
Me neither. The closest team for me is the 76ers. I think their coach is on the hot seat as well. Like that's Doc Rivers. That's a new coach. I'm just thinking of the older coach. I think if they don't get to the finals, that's an L season because you have the best record in the East.
76ers?
Yeah, they have the best record in the East.
I'm not gonna say that.
And it's just like
if they get
Joel Embiid had an MVP type season, and it just everything should work right for y'all to make it. Y'all team is built perfectly around Joel Embiid and Ben with the shooters and the Tobias Harris and stuff.
I don't know.
You don't think that's Danny Green and Seth Curry?
Okay, liability in Danny Green because Danny Green has tendencies of showing up when he wants to.
That's true.
Ben
you still got to respect the three though.
Simmons is an offense. I respect Danny Green 3, but Ben Simmons is a liability. Tobias Harris has never known his role because no coach has ever shown him his role. He's good. He's good enough to be a really good starter, but not good enough to be a star. So every team has just just go out there and play. So I think when it comes down, like if the Nets and 76ers play, Joel is obviously going to dominate the post because the Nets have no player who can play any post defense. But it's just going to come down to pace. And I just look at the Nets like they can dictate a pace in a playoff game. They can choose when they want to run you out the gym in a slow game, and then they can choose to methodically run offense through James Harden and KD and Kyrie and just pick you apart however they want to.
That's the most dangerous part.
As far as the West, I look at the West like, as far as the top seeds, the only team that I buy a little bit of something from is the Clippers. And a lot because I hate the Clippers with a passion. But I look at the Jazz like they're a very young team who has never had a deep run in the playoffs. And this is the year where everything clicks, but their best experience to me is Mike Conley, who his experience is second round exits in tough matchups.
For me, they're like the Bucks.
And then the Suns, I look at
they're like the Bucks of the West.
That's what the Jazz are. They're the Bucks of the West.
They're the Bucks of the West. Like they work hard enough. Go ahead.
The Suns to me are just a really good coach team. Like I think Monty Williams is like for the coach of the year. He coaches his butt off. Definitely be coach of the year. I look at the Suns like they have a good leader in CP3. They have D-Book, but to me the Suns' problem is I just think they rely too much on shooting. Their game to me is pick apart the defense and take the open three. And they have really good shooters on their team, but we've all seen teams that have really good shooters and are surrounded by a really good leader and blow games. And, CP3 is the common denominator because we watched those Rocket teams who had really good shooters and had really good players. And when it came down to hit those threes, they missed. And they didn't have a big man that they could just, get those easy in the paint buckets. And I don't think DeAndre Ayton, if he has to play it, Anthony Davis can hold his own. I don't think he's there yet. I think he may be 1 to 3 years out of that. Yeah. I think D-Book is ready for the playoffs. D-Book just seems like he got it in him, But those other guys is what I'm worried about. The Clippers to me are just, they have a winner in Kawhi. Then you have a really good player in PG who, got to step it up this year. If he don't step it up, I think if he don't step it up, Kawhi is going this year.
That's a good question. I was just going to ask you that, but what was I going to say? The Jazz are like that too. They rely on their three heavily. If they're not making their shots, it gets bad down there because Rudy Gobert can't score. So once three stop falling,
horrendous.
then it's over. A lot of teams are like that. But your point about the Clippers,
they have a good system where they don't rely on threes. I like teams who show appreciation of the mid range. Because when your three's not hitting, your best friend is the mid range. That's your best friend, and they got that. Kawhi can get to his spots in the playoff, and he will make it tough. PG can get to his spot, and he will make it tough.
I got one more question. Simple, feel me? Between the Lakers, do you think the Lakers can compete with the Nets in the 7-game series? Do you think they can compete? No bias, nothing. Do you think they can't compete?
I think the Lakers can compete if they coaches. If the Lakers and the Nets got in the finals series, it wouldn't be on talent. My bad. I think if the Nets and the Lakers got in the series, it would come down to who coaches better. The Nets' problem is Steve Nash.
Yeah. I'll never get over
I'm not going to say like he's a horrible coach because it's his first year. What I am going to say is he doesn't coach. Out of all the Nets games I've seen, and I've seen great basketball in every single game that I've seen just because of the skill level. But as far as coaching, they don't run offensive sets. They don't even run defensive sets. And it's all about like, all right, I have three top 10 guys. You can argue and put them in the top 5 players right now. And I'm going to let them play. And I'm going to let them each use their knowledge of this game I'll let them play. I have a 2-time Finals MVP. I have someone who hit one of the clutchest shots in the world, and I have James Harden, who's really, 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 really good. I'm gonna let them play. And then I think the Lakers. I think Frank Vogel overcoaches because he's never really coached stars. We can say he coached Paul George, but we all know Paul George was a guy he got since he was drafted, which doesn't really count because you have a drafted guy who became a star, so you already had a relationship. I think Frank Vogel has to overcoach to compensate that he has stars that he feels like won't listen. So I think if Frank Vogel can get his rotations right, which he struggles with, and he can put in a good scheme, I think the Lakers could win in 7 games. Maybe 6 if we have a monster game from AD.
Well, that's all the questions I have, but I got this thing on the thing I'm adding on. You feel me? Trivia questions. I got 5 questions for you. Trivia, multiple choice questions. If you get 3, you get my lowest prize. If you get all 5 right, you get my highest prize.
Okay.
You down?
I'm down.
Now, since this is the first episode, I made them kind of easy, but still challenging.
All right. I'll try my best.
All right. Question number 1. Like I said, some of these are easy. So who was the shortest player to win an MVP? Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, Spud Webb, or Steve Nash?
Shortest player should be Allen Iverson.
That's correct. Okay. Who won more championships, Kobe or Shaq?
Kobe.
That's correct. What was LeBron James' points per game average during the 2017-2018 season? 29, 31, 26, or 27?
What year was that again?
2017-2018.
I believe he averaged 29 that season. If not, it's 31. 31?
Yeah, it was 27.
Ooh.
I think this was his last year with the Cavs. Yeah.
That's that year he put up 51 in the finals and lost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I was 27.
All right. Out of Shaquille O'Neal's 22 3-point attempts during his career, how many has he made? 1, 3, 7, or 10?
The answer is 1.
Yeah. All right. Now I got a question because I know your favorite player is Kyrie. So I have a Kyrie question. Kyrie most points in a single game is 57. What team was it against? Spurs, Blazers, Hornets, or Bulls?
Spurs. He was the Spurs in that game.
Yes, sir. So what, that's 4 out of 5?
That's 4 out of 5.
All right, okay. You want to know what the prize is?
What's the prize?
Just money, bro. I'm going to send you 10 hots. You got 5 questions, I'll give you $10.
I appreciate that.
All right, man. Thank you for hopping on the episode. For me, this was the first episode. First episode one. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was a great pleasure to be on your podcast, man.
No problem. And thank you for watching. Hope you guys all enjoy. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We're doing more stuff like this. And we out. Peace.